Hi guys, welcome to Easy Math.
In this video, we are going to solve the problem number 2 from exercise 1.2. We have to find the rank for the following matrices using a row reduction method. So first I'll consider the given matrix as A. 1, 1, 1, 3, 2, minus 1, 3, 4, 5, minus 1, 7, 11. So first we have to write the order of the matrix. What is this order of the matrix? It has 3 rows and 4 columns. So the order of this particular matrix is 3 cross 4. The minimum number between 3 and 4 is 3. So rank of this particular matrix could be at the maximum 3 or it could be less than 3. That is rank of A. This is called as rank of A, row of A, which could be less than or equal to 3, which means maximum 3 or it could be less than 3, either 2, 1, like that. So first what we have to do is we have to solve this by using row reduction method, which means what is mean by row reduction method is this principal diagonal element. This is called as principal diagonal. First element in the first row, second element in the second row, third element in the third row. The elements below this principal diagonal, we must have to make it 0. So that form we call it as a row equivalent form. After making it as 0, let us see further how to find the rank of the particular matrix. So let us first make the elements below the principal diagonal as 0. So if you have 1 here, means 1 in the first row, means it will be very easy for us to simplify. So we have to use the rank symbol. So what I am going to do is we have to make this element, that is this element, we have to make it as 0. For that what I am going to do is, this is R1, this is R2 and this is R3. Since we have 1 in R1, that is in the first place, it will be an advantage for us. We can do it as R2 implies R2 minus 2R1. With the R1, row 1, I will multiply 2. First I will write R2. R2 is 2 minus 1, 3, 4. With the R1, I will multiply 2. If I do so, I will get 2, 2, 2, 6. And R2 minus 2R1. I will subtract. So what is the value we are going to get? 2 minus 2, 0. 1 minus 1 minus 2, it will become minus 3. 3 minus 2, 1. 4 minus 6, it is minus 2. So now, so R1, let us keep it as it is, 1, 1, 1, 3. In the R2, we have to replace the elements with what we found, 0, minus 3, 1, minus 2. So next, similarly, we have to make the first element in the row 3 as 0. So for that also I am going to make use of R1. Always follow the same steps, procedure. It will be easy for us to solve the by using row reduction method. Okay, R3 implies R3 minus 5R1. Why I am taking 5 is because first element in the third row we have 5. Okay, so I have to multiply R1 with 5. So what will I get? First R3 I will write it as it is, 5 minus 1, 7, 11. And next is R1 I will multiply with 5. So 5, 5, 5, 15. And we have to subtract. So 5 minus 5, it will become 0. Minus 1 minus 5 minus 6. 7 minus 5, it is 2. 11 minus 15, it is minus 4. So let us make these entries in our 0, minus 6, 2, minus 4. So next is what we are going to do is, we have to make this element 0. For that we have to get the help of R2 always, because if I touch R1 means again the 0 will vanish here. So we have to always, when I am trying to make this element 0 means always get the help of row 2. Next what we are going to do is, first row we will keep it as it is, no changes in the first row. Second row also no changes. And third row, second element, we have to make it as 0. We have minus 6 over there, and I told you we have to get the help of R2. Here we have 3. If I make here 6 means it will be easy for us to simplify. So what I am going to do is R3 implies R3 minus 2R2, because if I multiply second row with 2 means I will get minus 6 plus because we have to do minus. So both the ways we have minus. So if I use minus, it will one way it will become plus. So R3 I will write it as it is 0 minus 6 2 minus 4. R2 I will multiply with 2 0 minus 6 2 minus 4, and we are going to subtract. Okay. So this minus and minus will become plus. So this is also 0. 6 plus minus 6 plus 6 will become 0. 2 minus 2 also will become 0. Minus into minus will become plus. So 4 minus 4 also has become 0. So all the entries in the third row has become 0. Now it's time to decide what's the rank of this matrix. So if you see in this matrix, we have only 2 non-zero rows. This one row has completely become 0. So the rank of the matrix will be always non-zero rows. How many non-zero rows we have? That is the rank of the matrix. Here we have only 2 non-zero rows. Therefore the rank of this particular matrix is 2. Okay, in the second subdivision also we are going to find the rank of the matrix. So first I will consider the matrix as A. The matrix given is 1 2 minus 1, 3 minus 1 2, 1 minus 2 3, 1 minus 1 1. So first I have to write the order of the matrix. Order of the matrix can be written as how many rows and how many columns are given. 4 rows we have and 3 columns we have. Therefore the order of this particular matrix is 4 cross 3. But the rank of the matrix will be the minimum, which means in between 4 and 3, 3 is the minimum. The rank of this matrix could be at the most maximum it could be 3 or it could be less than 3. The rank of the matrix obviously for this problem it will be less than or equal to 3. Maximum 3 or less than 3, which is 2 or 1. So I have to first consider the principal diagonal. What is principal diagonal? First element in the first row, second element in the second row, third element in the third row. So all these elements we must have to try to make it as 0. Only then we can come to the conclusion what is the rank of the matrix. In the first place we have 1, it is an advantage. So it will make us make our simplification easier. So first what we are going to do is, let us keep R1 as it is. For the second row we have to make the first element as 0. So I am going to do it as R2 implies R2 minus 3R1. Because we have 3 here, if I multiply R1 by 3, here it will become 3, so we can easily subtract. R2 I will write it as it is 3 minus 1 2. R1 we have to multiply with 3. 3 6 minus 3 and we have to do 1 minus. So 3 minus 3 it will become 0. Minus 1 minus 6 minus 7. Minus and minus will become plus. 2 plus 3 5. 0 minus 7 5. And similarly I have to make this place as 0. Therefore R3 implies R3 minus R1. So 1 minus 2 3, 1 2 minus 1. 1 we have one more minus here. 1 minus 1 0, minus 2 minus 2 minus 4. Minus and minus will become plus. 3 plus 1 it is 4. Therefore 0 minus 4 4. Similarly we have to make this place as 0. For that R4 implies R4 minus R1. R4 we can write it as it is 1 minus 1 1. R1 also we can write as it is 1 2 minus 1. So minus we have to subtract. 1 minus 1 0. Minus 1 minus 2 will become minus 3. Minus and minus will become plus. 1 plus 1 it is 2. So it is 0 minus 3 2. Next what we have to do is, we have to make this place as 0. So for making this place as 0 we can make use of this row. But in this row we have 7, here we have 4. 7 table we don't have 4, in 4 table we don't have 7. What we have to do is, third row you multiply by 7, second row you multiply by 4. So both the places you will get the same number and perform the subtraction. First row I am going to keep it as it is. Second row also we can keep it as it is. Third row R3 implies 7R3 minus 4R2. Okay, both the places we have minus, so we have to include one more minus, only then it will become plus. 7 into R3, therefore 0 into 7 is 0, 7 into minus 4 is minus 28, 7 into 4 is 28. Next R2 0 into 4 0, 7 into 4 minus 28, 5 into 4 20. We have to perform subtraction. Okay, so 0, this will become 0, 28 minus 20 will become 8. So we got the value as we required, 0, 0, 8. So what we have to do next is, we have to make this element, this location 0. Okay, for that I can get the help of the same second row. Okay, let us, R4 implies, here also we have 3, here we have 7. 7 tables we don't have 3, 3 tables we don't have a 7, both are prime numbers. So second row I will multiply with 3, last row I will multiply with 7. Okay, which means 7 R4. Both the ways we have minus, so include one more minus, 3 R2. So first 7 R4, 0 into 7 0, 7 into 3 21, minus 21, 7 into 2 14. Next 3 R2, 3 into 0 0, 3 into 7 21, minus 21, 3 into 5 it is 15, and we have one more minus. Okay, so this will become 0, this will also become 0, which means minus and minus plus, therefore 0. 14 minus 15 will become minus 1. So fourth row we got it as 0 0 minus 1. So next what we have to do, we have to make this element as 0. For that I can get only help of this row. Here already it is a highest number, so this row only we have to multiply with 8, because we have 1 here. If I multiply with 8 here, I will get 8, as well as we can perform the addition operation because we have minus here. So what we have to do is, in the next step, first 3 rows we will have it as it is, 1 2 minus 1, 0 minus 7 5, 0 0 8. R4 implies 8 R4 plus R3. Okay, so multiply R4 with 8. So 0 into 0, 0 into 8 0, 0 into 8 0, minus 1 into 8 is minus 8. R3 we will have it as it is, 0 0 8. So we are going to perform addition, 0 0 minus 8 plus 8 will become 0. So all the elements in the last row has become 0, and we have achieved our motive. So now we have 3 non-zero rows, which means this is one non-zero row, another non-zero row, 0 0 8. This is one more non-zero row. This we cannot consider. Therefore, rank of this particular matrix is 3. So third subdivision, I will consider the matrix as A, given 3 minus 8 5 2, 2 minus 5 1 4, minus 1 2 3 minus 2. Okay, we already discussed that if I have 1 here means it will be easy for us to simplify, but we don't have there 1, but we have 1 in the third row. So we will swap that is we will interchange first row and the third row, which means R1 and R3 we are going to interchange. So what the matrix will become is, third row write it as first row, minus 1 2 3 minus 2. Second row as it is, first row write it as third row, 3 minus 8 5 2. So now we have 1 over here, so it will be easy for us to simplify. So we will continue with the same steps as we did for the first and the second subdivision. First row no changes. So before going on to the next step, we have to first write the row of the order of the matrix, which is nothing but 3 cross 4. So the maximum rank this matrix could have is 3, and it could be less than 3. That is, rank of A could be 3 or less than 3. It could be 2 1 also. Okay. So first row no changes, we will write it as it is. Second row we have 2 in the first element, so I will write it as R2 implies R2 plus 2R1. Why plus means, in R1 we already have minus, in the first element. So we have to do addition operation. R2 will write it as it is 2 minus 5 1 4. With R1 I will multiply 2. Minus 1 into 2 is minus 2. 2 into 2 is 4. 2 into 3 is 6. 2 into 2 is minus 4. Plus 2 minus 2 0. Minus 5 plus 4 minus 1. 1 plus 6 7. 4 minus 4 0. So I will make the entry. So similarly R3 implies R3 plus 3R1. Since we have 3 here, I will multiply R1 with 3. So R3 will write it as it is 3 minus 8 5 2. R1 I will multiply with 3. 3 ones are 3, that is minus 3 because we have minus by default. 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9. 3 into minus 2 is 6. So we have to add those elements. 3 minus 3 0, minus 8 plus 6 minus 2, 9 plus 5 14, minus 4. So we have the entries as 0, minus 2, 14, minus 4. So next what we have to do is we have to make this minus 2 as 0. So it's very easy because we have 1 over here. If I multiply this row with 2, I can easily simplify and make here as 0. So in the next step is first row no changes, second row no changes, third row we are going to make a change. Third row, that is R3 implies R3 minus, both the ways we have minus, so we have to prefer minus only. R3 minus 2R2. Okay. R3 is 0 minus 2 14 minus 4. Second row I will multiply with 2. 2 into 0 0, 2 into minus 1 is minus 2, 2 into 7 is 14, 2 into 0 is 0, and we have one more minus in between. So 0, this will become 0, 14 minus 14 0, this is minus 4. So 0 0 0 minus 4. This place also has become 0, but here we do have a non-zero element which is nothing but minus 4. So in this matrix we have 3 non-zero rows, 1, 2, 3. Therefore the rank of the matrix is 3.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Bye guys.